Welcome to another episode of I'll Try It, Episode 3, Part 1, Building a Cake Display. So much work goes into these displays, so let's start at the beginning.
So I've kneaded and dyed 22 pounds of fondant, but I'm looking at all of my dummies and I don't think it's going to be enough fondant. So I probably will have to knead more, but for now I do want to get some dummies covered, so let's get started.
It took a lot of time to get all of this fondant colored, but at long last it is time to get dummies covered.
I'm just going to start out by getting some shortening on my dummies. This is going to hold the fondant in place, give it something for it to stick to.
I'm just sprinkling some cornstarch on my sheeter and on my table just to keep things from sticking. You can use powdered sugar if you want to, and then I'm rolling it out just so it'll be thin enough to fit in my sheeter.
Something that's a really good hack when you use a lot of fondant, if cakes are really large, you're gonna need a really big piece of fondant, and a lot of the times they don't have rolling pins that long. Get yourself a nice piece of PVC pipe, brand new, get it nice and clean and use it only in your kitchen. This is what I use all the time, it's fantastic.
Having a sheeter is definitely an investment that is worthwhile. It does all of the work for me. I simply change the setting on my sheeter, put the fondant inside, and allow the machine to roll the fondant to the desired thinness. If you have any air bubbles in your fondant, simply pop them with a thin straight pin. You can use an acupuncture needle, but I have a hard time finding those. So I have my shortening covered dummy, and I'm just going to lay my fondant on it and begin the smoothing process. There is definitely a learning curve to getting fondant smooth on a cake dummy or on a real cake. You simply want to start on that top edge and start smoothing. You spread out the wrinkles from the base, and then from the top start working your fondant down. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes practice. The more you do it, the easier it will become. I promise.
So I'm about to cover my last dummy, and I think I'm going to have enough fondant, which I'm very happy about. So here we go.
Covering large tiers, even with the sheeter, can be really challenging because the piece of fondant is so large it becomes difficult to pick up. So once I've allowed the sheeter to get it as large as it can, I do have to roll the rest with my trusty PVC pipe. As you can see, that edge on the side there is a bit short, but I was able to stretch the fondant down to get it to the desired length. Covering a hexagonal tier is actually a lot of fun because those straight edges make for some fun, easy smoothing. It was still a challenge, but I was able to get this giant tier covered. Once I smoothed the edges, I just get my blade and cut off all of the excess fondant.
Okay, that was a struggle, but all of the cakes are covered in fondant, so let's get cleaned up and then I'm going to jump into the next step. So with all the cakes covered, I started out with 22 pounds of fondant, and I have this much left over. So I'm curious to see how much fondant it really took to cover all these dummies.
Okay, so I have my kitchen scale here, and I'm gonna see how much fondant I have left by just weighing it. Let's see here, so. All right, so let's just say 5.5 pounds for the sake of math. So out of 22 pounds, I wound up actually using roughly 16.5 pounds. So that was a lot of fondant.
Being a caker is actually 10% caking, 90% cleaning up and washing dishes.
Let the cleanup begin. It's incredible how quick things appear in videos like this. It's amazing with all of the editing that happens with content creation, but this is hours worth of work, getting all of the fondant needed, all of it dyed, getting all of the dummies covered. But at long last, all of my dummies are completed for my cake display. Join me next time as I jump into cake structure and face modeling. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy caking!